Hi, I'm Abby from Calm Homemade. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to make this super cute top made with just the iris stitch. So let's get started. So for this project, you'll need Paintbox Cotton Aran yarn, around 250 grams for a size small. You'll need some scissors, you need a 5mm crochet hook and a smaller one to help you weave in the ends at the end. You'll need 2 stitch markers and your measuring tape. Let's get started. So before we get started, I'm just going to run through how to actually measure your body to make your top. So you're going to measure completely around your bust. For me, it was 32 inches. And then I added an extra 2 inches, which made it 34. You're going to divide that by 2, which is 17 for me. And then you are going to measure in inches up to 17 and chain this amount, which we'll do together. For me, that was probably going to be around 64. It has to be a multiple of 4. So today we're going to be building up and working on the iris stitch, which is a really beautiful stitch, worked up with 2 double crochets, a chain and 2 more double crochets, and then skipping 4 and working in the same. So we're going to run through this together. This will be your front, and then you're going to do it again for the back. Let's get started. Okay, so to get started, we are going to create a slip knot, and you're going to chain the amount that you just worked out for both of your panels of your top. So for me it's 17, so we're going to count together. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to make it to 64, and then we are going to go into the 5th chain from your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go into that space in your chain, into yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the final 2. So that's your first double crochet. Going to yarn over into the same chain, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through the other 2. Now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 2 more double crochets back into that same chain space. And this is what it looks like. So we're going to repeat this all the way along, skipping 3, 1, 2, 3, and going into the 4th. So what we're going to do is the same again, yarn over into that chain space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, and yarn over, pull through 2. Can be a bit tricky for your foundation chain, but it gets easier, I do promise. Yarn over into that same space, same as before. Chain 1, 2 more double crochets to that same space. We're going to just repeat this stitch the whole way along. So we are going to complete this all the way up our chain until we get to the last 3 stitches. So you can pause this video and I'll meet you at the end. So we've got 3 chains left of our row. What we're going to do is yarn over and go into the last chain on the hook. 1, 2. You're just going to make a double crochet there. So you've just got 2 here and 1 double crochet in the end. You're then going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you're going to turn your work. And this is what the back looks like. Top tip, if you're getting quite a wrinkly bottom and it's just not lying flat, you can go up a hook size or make quite loose stitches for your foundation chain, and that will correct that for you. Okay, so for row 2, we're going to be going into the chain 1 spaces from the first row. So it's exactly the same, just into these spaces. So I'm going to yarn over into the space, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. For our first double crochet, I'll repeat that. Second double crochet, chain 1 and 2 more into that chain space. I find holding in between the stitches that you're going into at the bottom here helpful when you're working, so it just keeps it nice and easy and flowing. Okay. Chain 1, 2 more, and you're just going to repeat this all the way to the bottom. This is what it looks like so far. And we are just going to keep repeating this. So row 1, row 2. So you can go back to the start of the tutorial, and I'll meet you back when you have done both panels. So you will have 2 like this. I'll meet you back. Okay, so we've finished our front and back panels, and I've just finished it with a chain 1, and I've pulled the yarn through, making sure that you've got enough of a tail to pull through. So what we're going to do next is attach our sides. And for this, you're going to be attaching your yarn into this first big chain space, using the same colour as the body. Make sure you leave a tail so you can weave it in as you go along. Okay, so we're going to chain 1 and place 1 single crochet into that very same chain space. Go into the next chain space, and we're going to put 2 single crochets into that same chain space. Be sure to bring these along as well. So just make sure that your back and front are aligned as you go along, and just add 2 single crochets into each space. Okay, and then we're going into that final chain space at the bottom with 1. You can put 2 if you want. 2, make it the same. Okay, so that's now connected. So what we're going to do is chain 1 and fasten off, leaving that thread to weave in at the end. So we've got these 2 sides connected. We're going to go ahead and do the exact same for the other side, making sure the work that you've just done is on the outside. Don't turn it inside out just yet, because this won't be visible. So I'm going to let you guys go ahead on this side, and I will meet you back when you've completed single crocheting into every chain space all the way down to the end. Chain 1 and cut your yarn, and I will show you the next steps. Okay, so I've just completed the other single crochet side. So what I'm going to get you to do is turn this inside out now, which is actually going to be the right way. So you won't be able to see your stitches that clearly, which is good. And if it does feel a bit tight, you can just give it a little bit of a pull. Make sure that everything lays nicely. And we are now going to add a border all the way around in a circular motion at the top and the bottom to create a little border and hem using a different colour. So grab your second colour. Mine is going to be white. And we are going to attach our yarn into the next cluster, from the hem. So this is the hem. We're going to go in here. Grab your hook, your 5mm hook, and just attach into the chain 1 space. And we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to put a double crochet into that space. It's like the iris stitch that we've been doing the whole way through. Going to chain 1, 2 more. And you're just going to follow this pattern all the way around. We're going to repeat this all the way around. I'll show you what it's looking like. Step back. So it just adds a really nice little border all the way around. So I'm going to get you to carry on all the way, all the way, all the way. And when you get to this bit, it's just the exact same. So you're going into this space, going into this space and this space. And I will meet you back one step before we get to the end, and I'll show you how to fasten off. Okay, so I have done my border of the iris stitch at the top, and I'm just going to show you how you can attach when you come to the end. So you finished this one, and you're going to be going into the top of that chain 3 here. Yarn over, pull through, and instead of going like this, you're going to pull through again. So that's what you call a slip stitch. And then you're just going to chain 1 and fasten off. Pull through, and that bit is complete. So I'm just going to get you to go and do the exact same thing for the bottom, and then I'll meet you back and show you how to do the straps. This is how it's looking with your top and bottom finished in white. So next we are going to be adding the straps. So I'd advise that you slip this over your head, having the seams right down by your sides, either side, and count where you want your strap. So for me, it's 4 iris clusters from the hem. So I will just add a stitch marker here, which I can do now. So you're just going to apply your stitch marker. It will be easier for you to do this while it's on so you can make sure. And then one for your other side. And what we're going to make sure that we're doing is, once we've added the straps, it's going to be going in line into the fourth. So it's completely even. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so we are going to be adding the straps to where you have just added your stitch marker. So you can now remove that. Grab your white yarn or whichever colour that you've done your order in and attach it to that chain space. Tie a knot. Okay. So we are going to begin by chaining 3, 2, 3, adding 1 double crochet, chain 1 and 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. Okay, so this is where it's going to be slightly different. We're now going to turn our work and you're going to slip stitch into that space. So yarn over and you're going to put it through that loop that's on your hook. And that's our first stitch. It's going to work up the exact same way the whole strap. Okay, so I'm going to meet you back after you've done your desired length that will fit over your shoulder, and I will show you how to attach it to the other side. So I've created 17 clusters of the Irish stitch for my strap, and I'm now going to show you how to attach your straps. So go ahead and find where your back marker is. Make sure that it's the same as the front so it will match. Let's go ahead and remove that. Oops. And then you're going to be bringing that loop, so you can see, keep that loop there. And you're going to hold these together, turn your work around, and then, a bit fiddly, you're going to, make sure you can see this, turn that inside out, like that. So the hem, so what we're stitching is going to be on the inside. Okay? Woo. Make sure that you do a big enough loop so you can find it. So we're just going to put our hook back into our loop. And from the first chain 3, put our hook into there. And through, if we can, the first chain. You're going to bring that through. You're going to do a single crochet. Then through both loops on the front and on the back of your double crochet, yarn over, pull through, and you're going to pull through again, creating a slip stitch. We're going to repeat that for the centre, so the chain space, go through both of those, pull through, that loop on your hook. And we're going to just repeat the same again. So make sure that you go through both stitches, pull through the hook, the loop on your hook, and one final. So through there, and then through your chain 3 here. Pull through, pull through. Okay, and then we're going to chain 1, pull tight, cut your yarn, pull through, and now this is attached. So you have one strap done. So just go ahead and repeat that process. You can pause this video and go back and watch the steps that we've just done to create the other side, and you'll be done. And I'll show you what it looks like on. So all that's left to do now is, once you've created both straps, cute, really, really sweet, is weave in all of your ends. So I advise turning your top inside out, so you're weaving all of your ends into the inside bit so it's less visible. I'm going to just show you how I do it. Everyone does it differently. I normally go down a hook size or a couple of hook sizes, so it just makes this process slightly easier. And you're gonna, for the seams, go through all of the single crochets that you made. Can be a bit tricky when you've done it tightly. And you're gonna hook the yarn over your hook and just pull it all the way through. And a little bit more. Once you're happy that that's not going to come out and it's all secure, you just want to cut the yarn and repeat for the rest of the seam. If you need to weave in the ends for your strap, I would go through a couple of these, pull the yarn through, and then go through all of the bottom of your iris stitch clusters. Can be a bit tricky if you've done it tight. There we are. Yarn over and pull that all the way back through. There we go. So now that's secure. You can bring it over to this side if you wanted to make sure that it's double secure. And it's basically just weaving it in as you see fit, so you're not going to see it and it's not going to be too visible and distracting when you're actually wearing your garment. There we go. You might want to pull a little bit so you don't cut it too short. I'll just cut this line off here. And then that's you done. Once all of your ends are weaved in, you can put it on. You can take some pictures, tag Calm Homemade so I can see all your wonderful creations, tag Lovecrafts. This is a collaborations with Lovecrafts. If you find it easier to follow a pattern, there's also a free pattern linked below, or you can Google my name, type my name into the search bar, into Lovecrafts, Calm Homemade, and the free pattern will come up for you to download. I hope you've really enjoyed this tutorial, and I look forward to seeing you back here soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment whether you're going to be making your very own top. I just want to say a huge thank you for watching this tutorial. I hope you really enjoyed it. Can't wait to see all of your tops. If you enjoyed this tutorial but would prefer to look at a pattern, you can go onto Lovecraft's site, type in Calm Homemade and download it for free, or click the link below. Thanks so much for watching.